Welcome back to Hardware Unboxed for more Computex coverage. Today we're over at the DeepCool booth and we're here to check out a range of new PC cases, and some of them should be quite affordable, and there's also a few other bits and pieces as well, so let's get into it. Before we do though, just a quick thank you to MSI for bringing us here this year. Really appreciate that, and it's been great to check out all the cool gear at Computex. If you guys are in the market for a new gaming desktop PC, then check out MSI's high-end Core i7 systems. They are very impressive and I'll have a video on them soon. And they're offering a free Uplay game key for Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands with select purchases. They're also offering a Wildlands game key with select MSI motherboards, so check out their X99, Z270 and H270 range. I'll provide the link in the video description. Alright, so onto the DeepCool stuff. They put together a really nice looking booth. It was very clean and simple. The focus for Computex 2017 was primarily on their new PC cases. First up we have the Baron Case Liquid, and this model will be available in two colour schemes, black with red highlights or white with silver accents. What's interesting about this case is that it's very small, and I know small cases aren't anything new, but this one is particularly interesting because it supports full-size ATX motherboards. Looking at the case externally, you certainly wouldn't think that. It's really no bigger than your typical micro ATX case, so you can expect that there's no wasted space inside, especially considering that the Captain 120EX all-in-one liquid coolers come as standard with a cool looking flow meter attachment as well, so that's a really nice package there. The case and cooler feature RGB lighting, so I'm sure that won't surprise too many of you at this point. It's pretty much been Computex 2017 RGB edition. But I have to say, it does provide a very awesome effect as it all ties in really well with the flow meter and water block. So yeah, a very smart looking case for those that want to show off their hardware. In fact, the RGB goodness doesn't stop there. Even the SSD shroud is RGB lit along with a vertically orientated 2.5 inch drive bay. Oh, and if that's not enough, they've also thrown in an LED light strip for good measure. Despite its micro ATX stature, the Baron case can handle a 240mm radiator in the front and a 280mm radiator in the top. And if you want, you could install a 120mm radiator in the rear as well, if you wanted to just fill the case with radiators. If for some reason though you were using an air cooler, I guess this would be more likely if you got the non-liquid cooled version of the case. The cooler can stand as tall as 175mm. Speaking of clearance, there's also room for PSUs as long as 200mm, so that's obviously ample room. For the fully featured liquid cool version, we are expecting a price point of about $130 US, and the case should hit shelves later next month. Moving on, we have the Earl Case RGB, yet another flashy computer case, but I think you guys will appreciate this one as it costs just $80 US. Obviously that makes it by no means a budget case. $80 US is still quite a bit for a case, but I think you'll agree at the price point there is quite a lot on offer here. Internally it's very well laid out, and I really like how DeepCool has included a separate basement section for the power supply and all those messy cables. Out of the box, the case includes an RGB light strip, so that's very cool. You can show off all your hardware. Actually, with that large acrylic side window, you will really be able to show off all your hardware. And to keep it all cool, there is support for a 280mm radiator in the top of the unit, and you could add an extra 360mm or 280mm radiator in the front. Next up we have the Dew Case Liquid, and this model is similar to the Baron case. It just takes everything pretty much to the next level. Included this time is a 240mm radiator, so yes, you do get that out of the box. So radiator, water block, the whole lot included in the case. So that's very cool. And pre-installed attached to the all-in-one liquid cooler is a flow meter, and this one has not one but two rotators. And I have to say, it does look very cool. As I mentioned earlier, there is a large acrylic window included, and this does show off all the cool hardware inside very well. What I really like though, DeepCool has once again gone with a basement style design to hide the PSU and all the messy cables, so they won't be seen through the nice acrylic panel. The Dew Case Liquid also includes a fan controller in the form of a dial, so it's fairly simple but it does work well, and that can control up to 3 fans at the same time. The case will be available later this month for $190 US, so keen to check it out, but I think for what you get, that's a pretty good price, especially given that there is a 240mm radiator included in the case, and of course you get the water block and the flow meter. The last case on display was this monster, the new Arc 90, a generously sized case capable of supporting extended ATX motherboards. This time around, not just the left side panel features an acrylic window, but so too does the top and right panels as well. So it's kind of a transparent PC. Out of the box, this model also comes with a liquid cooler. This time we find the 280EX model with the same fancy dual flow rotators. So again, very cool. Padding out this model are 3 pre-installed 140mm fans. Of course, the fans are RGB lit, so we get, integrated RGB lighting again. And the RGB lighting extends to the flow meter, the Captain water block, the PSU shroud, the included LED strip, of course. So yeah, plenty of lighting on offer. It also comes with a PCIe riser cable included, so that's another nice inclusion, and this means you can showcase your graphics card facing towards the side window. And they had an Nvidia reference card on display, and yeah, it looked really cool. As far as radiator support goes, the Arc 90 can handle up to a 360mm radiator in both the top and rear of the case. Unfortunately, at this point, pricing for this particular model isn't known, but they are telling me that it will become available in October later this year. Moving on from the cases, I found one other product that instantly caught my attention, and that's the crazy new MF120 GT fans. These very unique looking fans are what DeepCool used to highlight their brand name at the booth. It's a very impressive display, and you guys will have seen that in the B-roll. These new RGB fans feature advanced vibration dampening thanks to a specially designed aluminium mounting structure. I guess you could say that this is an open air fan design. Can't say I've seen a PC with fans that look anything like this before. They were very unique. I just hope they turn out to be relatively practical. Still helping with the practicality side of things, they do have vibration dampening pads, and the aluminium frame does detach for easy cleaning, so they could turn out to be quite easy to live with. Illumination is provided, RGB illumination is provided by a very cool looking translucent strip that runs either side of the aluminium frame. DeepCool call this their double V shape RGB lighting system. The marketing team were also quite busy with the fans themselves, coming up with what DeepCool calls their double layer blades. When stationary, these do look great, and when active, they're said to increase air pressure. Using the supplied controller, which comes in a 3-pack, or which comes with a 3-pack of fans, I should say, for $100 US, which is expensive but quite reasonable. We've grown to, or come to expect, I should say, spending about $100 US on a 3-pack of LED fans that do have a digital controller. Anyway, the controller will allow you to select a fan speed between 500 RPM and 2200 RPM, so they can be quite quiet or reasonably loud, or at least move a hell of a lot of air at 2200 RPM. Overall, some very cool and flashy looking hardware was on display at the DeepCool booth this year, and it was great to check out their upcoming cases. I'm particularly keen to check out the $80 Earl case, the RGB model of course, once it lands. Anyway, that's going to do it for the DeepCool booth. I'm your host Steve, hope you guys enjoyed the coverage, and I'll catch you again soon.